My name is Simba. I'm going to be taking you through memory forensics with ProcessHacker. Um, the ProcessHacker is the one that is at the upper left corner. At the bottom left corner, we have our usual task manager. But then, however, you can see that the ProcessHacker here, it's detailed. It shows all the processes that are currently running in the system. It's the same functionality as the task manager, but however, the ProcessHacker is much more detailed, showing the relationships between different processes running concurrently. The ProcessHacker is a free and open source process viewer. It's a multi-purpose tool that will assist you in debugging malware detection and system monitoring. The normal functions in a memory process enables us to know what is normal, and each process will have a process identification number, which is PID. So here we see that the ProcessHacker shows how many instances of a single process do we have at a time. So the main purpose of this is trying to find the evidence of compromised systems in one of the following ways: identifying rootkits, any rogue processes, hidden communication, and also be able to identify any suspicious processing. A process is a program being executed in memory. So processes will be created or suspended or terminated by the operating system. Terminated processes could be very useful in forensic investigations. So here are the key points to look for in the initial initial investigation. That is assuming you have control of the host target. That is to identify notable processes, to check the different spellings of different processes running at a specific time, because different malware will then try to imitate the current processes, but then the spellings usually won't be the same. There will be just a slight tweak of the names of the processes. Maybe here on CSRSS, you find it written as CRSS or something like that, just to interchange one or two things, or maybe an extra dot so that you won't notice. So ProcessHacker is an in-depth analysis of all processes running compared to our usual taskbar or our task manager. So we have a list of different processes that might be running at a time. I'll just give a few instances, but in general, we have the ones that which are system processes, and then we also have client processes, the ones that we initiate. They are the system ones. They are initiated right when you initiate your system, or when you boot up your system. So what we have here, I will just give you a few examples of the things that we should look out for. So system processes, as I've earlier on alluded to, starts when the system boots. They have a single instance and does not have a parent. Always, in terms of the system process, it has a PID of 4 here. It's always on any system. So if we see something different, then it means it's not. There should be something suspicious. Then we have the CRSS here, just under registry. It's client server runtime subsystem. it's quite possible here that the malware with a similar name might exist. This one doesn't have a parent process that is running. Another example is the task host. It is so this is a parent service, the task host. It executes any task that we have that is scheduled, and it only have one instance. We have winlog. Winlog shows it shows any parent process. It can be linked with any other processes. Here's the winlog. Then we also have the LSAMSXA, which is a process which will enforce password processes. If it is compromised, you don't have any security on the system. It starts when the system starts because it does enforces security. So it boots at the same time that the system boots. So we have what is called a winning it, which is the parent for LASX, LS. Okay, so here it is. Its parent process is the winning it. Then we have the LSM. Okay. We have the SMSS and WinItExe, which is a system process that starts also when we boot up the system. So it's very important to know these different types of processes so that when you see one that is different from the listed ones, you know that maybe something suspicious is happening, or you have a malware running in the background. And what we do have, we also have user-specific processes. These ones are different from system processes because they don't really start when we boot up the system. But then these ones are the ones that we initiate maybe when we start up an application or anything on the system. So these, if we scroll right down, right, these Chrome processes that are running are examples of different user-specific systems. So when we have different users, all the users will be identified here. All the users that can log on the same host are identifiable here. Okay, so what then we want to then cover is the fact that if we go under view, we can choose to hide processes from other users. So if we have any malware, it will try to imitate Microsoft signed processes, but then the operating system will recognize it as unsigned processes. So if you want to see all the unsigned processes, Windows still recognizes them as unsigned, even though malware wanted to disguise them. If you hide signed processes, it will give you unsigned. So if we come here under view and hide the signed processes, it then gives you a list of and all the unsigned processes, so that it's easier for you to then filter through and see any processes that are suspicious, or that are, or any malware running in the system. Also, the log will also be able to assist us to show any log of all activity that is happened on the host machine. It will show all the terminated and logged processes. Collecting all info can be saved on text file through save button, so that you can investigate it later. So you can, here under log, it shows the log of all processes that have been running on the system, and it can be saved for later use, or for later investigations. So here, if we then work with another system, which is called DumpIt, we can take images, or we can save images. Since we are not going to be working on the host machine or this machine under investigation for a long time, we would need to save some images of any suspicions. So if we already downloaded DumpIt, so if we come to the command prompt, and we accept that we would want to continue, it will start then to process. That's capturing all the activity that's been happening on the system. What then we would need, maybe it will take a while, but what then we then use that information for is to be able to then go and investigate further using even some other systems, some other applications that will help us to further investigate any suspicions that we have recognized. So that's it. That's the end of the video. I'm sure the taking of the images here will take a bit of time. That is, it's showing here on the screen. It's capturing under downloads the raw image file that we work on when we want to further our forensic investigations. That's it for now. Thank you. Notificare. Dona HD. Mm. Right. So here it says successful.